WIFTV PM. WIFTV PM. WIFTV PM.
And you can tell them, May said, we want to know what's in it for the black people. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTV PM.
1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTV PM.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTV PM. WIFTV PM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected. Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have a point system in the you know it, so you know what you're gonna have to do, right?
Hey, did you see Bishop Ford's church is falling apart? That reminds me. I just saw that.
Bishop Ford.
Oh, you know who Bishop Ford?
Lucius? What? No, that's Hall. No, Bishop Ford was he was the actual name of Bishop Ford.
Yeah, he was a bishop over all of the bishops in the Church of God in Christ, and he was here on State Street.
I don't know which church was his, but I do remember listening. But you know, it's we got to do something.
Oh, okay.
We gotta. I feel like I gotta get my intro because it's such a special intro. So this is what we're gonna do. Sonia, I'm gonna let you go back to the beginning because we did not have any audio. Because I gotta play my theme song. Our new theme song. You can hear.
Yeah, my name in it. I'm happy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm famous.
Yep, that makes you famous.
Shout out to Remy Steele and Young Sage on the new What's in It for the Black People morning show opening. I want to get in the studio with them. I want to do a little bit more with it, but I'm gonna tell you, it's like the No Limit. You know what? Check this out. Let's start this thing over. Let's play it. Let's reopen the show because usually, Todd, this is about the time you get in anyway. So let's do it again. All right, Sonia, let's take it from the top.
Hater.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. See the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve us.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention. You gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, we had to do that all over. We had to do the rewind because, I forgot to hit the mute button. It's like, so we had, we had an awesome opening, but I figured we could do it all over again because this is the time you get in.
Do it again.
So we just do it again. But shout out to Remy Steele and Young Sage for, man, I'm going to tell you, that was a big surprise in my inbox when I got that. You know what? And
you didn't know it was coming?
No, I did not. So let me do this. Let me say that I meet a lot of people and Remy Steele is Remy Ramesses, who is with us every morning on Facebook. And he does a lot. And it's like, you know how you just never stop to like slow down. He always like, yo, man. It's like, I feel like it's like a movie where it's like, yo, man. He like, I got. And then finally, I just, the best way to catch my attention really is my email because I read through. It's like I stop and take time with it. And when I heard the song, it was like, whoa. And it really, I was inspired, and I feel like it's very much I feel like you know how we are, I feel like we got like a no limit thing going on around here right now. Like some Master P, John Johnson, Ebony, Robert Senstack. I think of all of the people that came before us, and I think it started just like this. And then when I heard that song, I was just like, man, that combined with some Jack Black, I think we could start a we could really do something with this music thing. So I want to send a big shout out to Remy Steele and Young Sage for the new theme song to the Maze Jackson Show.
Yay!
And you know what's funny yesterday? Now you know who coming next, right? You know Herb and two gonna be like, we gotta get us the intro. We gotta look. They gonna be calling Kanye. Man, look. This they gonna two and her two gonna be like, man, I'm gonna call my man Ye. I would get Ye to do the hook. Man, that's all right. Shout out to the family, to everybody with that song. Bears win. Bears win. I made it to halftime.
You fell asleep?
Oh, yeah, man. I woke up to Carrie giving me a full report, and she don't even like football. But I feel like that was like the aid and assist. She gave me some aid and assist yesterday. I woke up at like 10:30, like right when you be like, everything is just like, they're like, and you're like, And she was like, the Bears won. I think this Tom Brady guy made a mistake at the end. Tom Terrific. Amen. It's still Tom. Tom got that swag. He got the football swag down, right? He married it's like the TV.
But this isn't those old New England teams, because, if he had gotten the ball with more than a minute left, I'd have been like, oh, dang, the Bears lost.
Right. Well, that's the chemistry, right? That's the medicine that you don't like.
Yeah.
That's the Belichick, right? Bruce Arians is a loosey-goosey, right? and that's when Belichick would not have let you forget that it was fourth down, right? Mm-hmm. So now this is all from Carrie's reporting. So I'm taking Carrie's analysis and I'm giving it to you.
Her. Oh, right, they were
she wrote, but she had notes.
She took notes.
It was so. I thought it was so sweet because she literally took notes, and she don't even like football. And for her not to change, but let me just tell you, as soon as that game was over, I woke up to the end of the game, and when I was what was that you were calling yesterday? A night terror. I was like in between as I was waking up. I was the blend between as I was waking. I was going from that to the Braxtons. She was like, I'm glad this thing is over. I woke up, she gave me the report, and then she was back to the Braxtons. Like, I've done my wifely duty. I watched this thing to the end. And you slept. All right, y'all. Look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
To my black people in power, just remember who put you in power. If you really want to save all the black princesses, be Mario or not Bowser.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. In my life, I've gone from cotton field to corporate boardroom. I've seen great success and walked many roads. I know how it feels not to have. I'm asking you to vote for me for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I can do the work that few others may understand. A vote for me is a step in the right direction for our state and our country.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTBPN.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, Ruthie Moore, Saving the Kids. She'll be back in the building on Monday. Let me tell you, let's check this out. Did you see the Bears won, but then at the same time, oh, you know what? Todd, I'm so used to you getting here late that I'm taking off late. So let's do this. Let's get the fathership.
Oh, just blame me for everything. Nah, dang.
You know what?
I must be the last born or something.
Let's do this. Let's get the fathership up to outer space. I think we're gonna take this bad boy to Pluto and back before we come back. I think I want to make it around the solar system in the next week or so. Because I got some more spaces and some black holes we got to investigate. All right, so this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore. We're going to bring her back. And on Monday, she is going to catch the fathership with us. All right, in opposite news, did you see the plot twist to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer?
Oh, my gosh. As a woman, that is so
scary. Did you not see this coming?
Oh, my gosh.
Your dog whistle has been blowing for 3 years, and you didn't expect something crazy to happen at some point, huh?
Well,
what you call me?
Let me suggest this. Let me suggest that we're going to talk about it a little bit later. But first of all, Michigan is already the home to like a lot of crazy militia people.
Yeah,
like
don't go too far up north.
I stay straight. Chicago, Detroit, bam. I go to Lansing, bam. Maybe Ann Arbor, bam. Only the big places. You know, if you ain't going to Flint, no.
Flint.
Although the last time I was in Michigan, I went to Flint with President Steele, who was actually Commissioner Steele at the time. And she brought a truckload of water to Flint, Michigan, and we rode up there, and it was like when we saw the discrimination, because it was like actually city planned. It was not only just the water part; it was the piping and who got the new pipes and who didn't. And
there was new piping. It just wasn't for the people who didn't have
black
money.
Neighborhoods. Right. It's actually it's interesting because it's like the same kind of thing. It's the lead pipe from the house to the main line,
right,
and all of that stuff that we have here. It's just been, it's just
Do
really
they have
interesting.
a 500-year contract too?
You know they did. You know, look, let me stop. I ain't even going to go down that path. Remember, we talked about that when the mayor's plan was going to have us waiting 500 years. but we had a press conference for it today. New anthem. Oh, I already said the new anthem, Remy Steele with Young Sage. How about this one, Todd? White women, kind of tricky. Gotta watch them. Megyn Kelly says to Kamala Harris, stop with the faces, take it like a woman. I can imagine Megyn Kelly probably is not very exciting in bed.
Who was Megyn Kelly?
She's the white lady who left Fox, and then they kicked Tamron Hall off and got the job, and then they realized she was a bum, and she got $50 million.
More specific?
Blonde Fox. You know, Fox News. And she was like the first one she told on what's the guy who had the creepy guy from Fox, Roger Ailes. She was the first person to tell on Roger Ailes, and then but she was like, I think you guys missed my cool joke there. Can you imagine Megan? Because she literally told Kamala Harris, cut it with the faces and take it like a woman. And I was just thinking, like, her husband is not very happy.
Yeah, I heard the joke. I was trying to avoid it.
Right.
I mean, like, dude, say, like, okay, let me stop. I'll move up. Chris Welch cancels the Madigan hearings and Jim Durkin is outraged. That
wasn't going to go well no matter what.
Wait, I don't understand.
So Madigan is under investigation for conduct unbecoming of a state legislator. He is the committee is chaired by State Representative Chris Welch. Chris Welch has declared that there will be no more trials until after the election because obviously they don't want any of that information. I just don't understand how in this climate that we're in.
So as a voter, I have to wait for information?
Yeah, well, I mean, you wait and then there's no election and then who cares what you think? Right? Who cares what you think after that? Prayers up to Dr. Willie Wilson. He got coronavirus after giving away tens of millions of masks.
40 million?
Was it over 40 million? Look at you.
I lost count.
Researching.
He's always giving stuff away.
He's like 40 million, millions in cash. You know what? Why not, Willie? Why not? I mean, y'all don't even... I mean, that is going to be the classic case of if Dick Durbin wins the black neighborhoods or people keep saying it's a wasted vote, in my estimation, it's like you can you tangibly talk, discuss the pro Dick Durbin. When is the last time you saw Dick Durbin in the neighborhood, Todd? On the South Side. Not with one of the big three. Not like...
Who's the big three?
You know, like Tony and her team.
Oh.
And I just use big three because it sounded good. I don't know if it's three.
I think once a year he comes through with the alderman.
Right. It's probably to give toys for tots. Probably give away.
Are there cameras there?
Of course there are.
Well, I wouldn't know if it wasn't like publicized.
Right.
I mean, I'm not invited. So.
Of course not. How helpful was he for you?
He gave me some advice in the first time around.
No. When you were the county board president.
Oh.
Did he help you out?
Nah, he was pretty invisible. Well, you know what? I take that back. I would go to Washington and lobby, but helpful? Probably not.
He's always in the Latino communities.
Is he? I never seen him. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I'm not in the Latino communities. All right. Shout out to Dick Durbin. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Better keep my name out your mouth. North Shore businessmen, speaking of Willie Wilson, North Shore businessmen accused of price gouging. Did you see that?
No.
It said, I say looting on the paper, but it's actually price gouging.
I was thinking you said looting. I thought you meant like after the looters when he stole some more of his old stuff and then said, look what's gone. But no,
that's what the white guys did with the apartments on the south side. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But no, North Shore businessmen accused of price gouging, charging up to $20 per KN per mask for a mask during the height of the pandemic crisis when Willie Wilson was giving millions away for free. Okay, I'm going to move on. Remember when Susanna Mendoza told us she had to go ride up and down the highway like a shady drug deal to buy?
Son.
Yeah.
Right. Did you know Illinois has the most cases of COVID since May?
Yeah, you know how it gets when people, they put down the guard and like, hey, we're free.
Or when the mayor says it's money over science.
Well, yeah, that's putting down your guard. Like, okay, things get easy.
Chicago Community Trust. Shout out to the Chicago Community Trust. They are putting their money where their mouth is. They've invested committed to investing $25 million to the
Wow, yay.
Equity Rebuild Fund. Equity.
Is that part of the cannabis thing? Or is it separate? It's a separate thing.
See how you got equity? At least you know what equity means in Chicago. It means helping rich white people catch up with the richer white people. Yeah. They have a $25 million equity fund when asked to help ensure that there's an equitable rebuilding of the South and of Black and brown communities in Chicago. What's interesting about that is, though, they said that they were going to, how were they going to decide what they were going to distribute the money to? And they said they were going to distribute it to things that were already happening. Now, first of all, we all know the definition of equity in Chicago. It means nothing for Black people. Absolutely nothing. It means that white people will get rich off of...
I disagree. It means, here's a fish. And we're going to pay this guy...
to feed it to you.
That's right.
Right. We're going to feed you guys fishes, but we're going to pay our friends to do it. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
He is joining Chicago famous because he is born and raised in the city of Chicago. He is famous. He is Chicago famous. Mr. Rick Party. Welcome to the show,
What's
sir.
happening for the show starter?
Ricky!
So I had to figure out at that point, what am I going to do with my life? I would listen to the radio. Earl Boston was a radio personality, and I would call in all the time and ask him, hey, can you make a dedication to my girlfriend? Every day I would call him. He said, well, why are you calling me every day at 10 o'clock? You're supposed to be in school. I said, I'm sick, man. He said, to be honest, man, tell you the truth. But this man taking the time to talk to me on the other end of the phone every day, making dedications to my girlfriend who's in school while I'm out, that just inspired me just as a street kid, living, from Inglewood, Inglewood and Cabrini Green,
Right.
back and forth.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTBPM.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Waiting on Ruthie to come back from saving the children. The children. She couldn't save them in Africa because she wouldn't be able to get back in for another 2 weeks. Man.
She couldn't save them where?
In Africa.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Because that's a quarantine state?
They probably be like, you got to wait 2 weeks coming over here.
Right, no American.
Right, they like, no American.
Right.
No American. Check this out. Hey, Todd, did you know What's in It for the Black People Media is supported by Black-owned and operated Kimbark Beverage Shop? It's Friday, y'all. You know what it is on Friday. It's like, just got paid. Friday night. Party's jumping. Feeling right. If you want to feel right, then you need to stop over to Kimbark Beverage Shop, located in Hyde Park on Chicago's South Side. That's right, 1214 East 53rd. Now check that out, 53rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's Friday. Go get the red, black, and green. When you see the red, black, and green flag, when you go up and down the aisles, I'm telling you, that's Black-owned liquor. And it's not even liquor. It's fine spirits.
Fine spirits.
Fine spirits. Wines, spirits, and they got a wide variety of crafty beverages in the back coolers. Plus, man, they got them chips for my cousin.
I didn't notice they had stuff from all over the world. You know, you can go to any old country in there.
Right, man. I'm telling you. It's Friday, and you know what? Sometimes they even have music. Last time I was there, my man Jay Green was on the Wheels of Steel. Shout out to the University of Illinois.
I mean, they had somebody spinning or something?
Oh. No, but you know it's in Chicago, so they was doom 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 doom. His house, and I was like, but it's all good, man, because I'm telling you, Kim Bark, and it's a beverage shop. Make sure y'all know that. You know, they got class over there. Class for your glass. I'm not gonna even charge y'all. I'm not even charge y'all for that. Class for your glass. If you don't sit your praise the Lord. Maze Jackson show. Sonia just censored me. Did you see? Okay, I gotta ask. Did you see that Donald Trump debuted a black commercial during the Bears game?
No.
Like a straight up blackity black. Sonia, you need to find that. A black. I can't even remember what dude is from.
I had to get on a Zoom, so I
Zoom,
missed,
Todd.
Something. And you know, I did go back, but you know, when I go back, that just means that I'm going to go through all the commercials. So I didn't.
Oh no, he had it. So both he and Joe Biden, ran commercials during the Bears game. It was Thursday Night Football, so you know it was nationally televised. Go Bears one more time. But Trump ran a straight up black commercial. Now I know everybody gonna be like, sell out, Uncle Tom, blah, 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 blah. I got you. I'm just telling you.
One of those testimonial type things?
It was like, no, it was like I did this, that, and why we need. And
it was him speaking?
No, it was a black endorser. Actually, Sonia's, I'm going to play it because I know y'all going to get mad. I am not being paid to play it. I just thought, and then see if you can find
That's even worse. You shouldn't have said that. People would feel a lot better if they knew you were getting paid to play his stuff.
That's funny. So I think, and Sonia, see if you can find Joe Biden's commercial too, so we can make sure we got equal play. But I want you to hear the difference between the two commercials that ran last night. I want to also point towards
one is Gladys Knight and one Patti LaBelle.
No, Todd.
That would be pretty much the same, actually. I guess.
Okay, so let me do this, Sonia. Let's play. First of all, let's start with the commercial that Donald Trump played.
This president deserves the support of the black community because he's earned it.
There is a silent majority of us that see you, see what you're doing, see what you did for HBCU schools. That was actually the deal for us.
I wager to say that there is no American president since Lincoln that has had the impact for black America that President Trump has had.
Joe Biden supported the crime bill in '94.
He has imprisoned black America, basically.
Trump supported the NAACP and black youth like myself in '87.
He's a businessman. He's bringing businesses back into America.
Bringing jobs back to America.
Bringing the truth back, and he's stopping needless wars.
My day is going to be amazing. I'm never going to forget this day. This day is historic.
In 2016, I made you a solemn pledge. I would be your greatest champion. In the first 3 years, we achieved the lowest black unemployment rate in history. We achieved the largest job gains for African Americans on record. The poverty rate for African Americans reached the lowest level ever recorded. I did more for the black community in 47 months than Joe Biden did in 47 years.
We cannot deny that that man has done everything that he has set out to do in record-breaking time. Can we say 3 years? Can we say 3 years?
We will create 3 million new jobs for the black community. Open 500,000 new black-owned businesses. Bring even greater fairness to the justice system. We did criminal justice reform.
I want to thank President Donald John Trump.
Create a ladder of opportunity for African American children by delivering school choice to every parent in America. To Together we made unbelievable progress and achieved once unimaginable success. And with your support, your vote, and your voice, the best is yet to come.
Now I'm gonna be clear that was constructive.
Man, that was long.
That was, and it ran a national game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
2 minutes 25 seconds.
2 minutes 25 seconds.
That's
oh
long.
no, there's another one then. Then there's another one. That's not the. There's a. Oh, that's the full version. Then there's one because there's one that's narrated by a black guy, right? That and he looks like Alfonso Ribeiro.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay. So I have no judgment on the commercial.
I do.
Start there.
I'm bad.
Go ahead.
So I guess he's going to open up the plantations again?
I'm
adding more jobs for black folks? Yeah, right. I can't stand that guy patting himself on the back so much. I am the greatest. No, you're not.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali's the greatest.
Okay. I'm not.
I know you ain't going to say nothing. You're all happy and cheerful, and look at you.
No, okay. So.
Right, Sonia? Yeah, I'm always trying to get Sonia in trouble.
Sonia, do you have the Joe Biden commercial? Joe Biden ran a commercial during the Super Bowl.
I missed that too.
Not the Super Bowl, but during the game yesterday. I'm gonna stay completely neutral in this. What I am going to suggest, I don't know if you saw Bill Rutherford's article in the Tribune yesterday, and it was about the black vote, particularly in the Midwest and in places where Democrats need blacks to turn out, where Trump won in the last situation. And they were suggesting there were two things that I saw that were the two things that we know is that they were saying that there was very low enthusiasm, that there was not very much pro-Joe Biden support. There was a lot of anti-Trump support. I mean, just, we got to get rid of Trump. It's not that we care, etc. Play the Joe commercial.
Why in this nation do black Americans wake up knowing that they can lose their life in the course of just living their life?
Part of the point of freedom is to be free from brutality, from injustice, from racism, and all of its manifestations.
We have to let people know that we not only understand their struggle, but they understand the fact they deserve to be treated with dignity. They've got to know we're listening.
Reforming policing in this country means creating a national standard on use of force and conditioning federal funds for police departments on adoption of that standard. It's about reining in qualified immunity. We hold police officers accountable.
We can't turn away. Now is the time for racial justice.
I believe with every fiber in my being, we have such an opportunity now to change people's lives for the better.
It's about who we are, what we believe, and maybe most importantly, who we want to be.
Both of them made their pitches to black folks. When we come a little later, because this isn't really where I wanted to go. Not this commercials. I just kind of got sidetracked a little bit because we were talking about it. But I want to go to the Democrats' black problem. The interesting thing that I think is that sometimes we don't understand nuance, right? Like, I don't think, when they say sword and scalpel, right? Like you can either lop it off or you can be, I think that black people are awakening at an awkward time. I think it's at an awkward time that we are becoming aware of ourselves, and I think we're at personal conflict with it internally as well as external. So we're going to talk about it a little bit later because I don't think that the Democrats are dealing with their black problem. And it doesn't have to do with necessarily Biden or Trump. I think it is a fundamental problem that we see from the ground up. I think when I talk about the Chris Welch story, I think it plays into that same thing. Like, nobody trusts government right now, but if there's anybody who does not trust government, it's black people. Even though they rely on government, people are looking around and saying the math is not adding up.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the conflict comes, because it's like, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Let me move on. Should we prepare for a post-election chaos?
Sure. For the Michigan people, I guess we better.
Well, I think it's more than the Michigan people. Let me run through a few things.
That's my point.
Gretchen Whitmer, the plan to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. In case you did not hear, Adam Fox called for 200 men to storm the capital of Michigan to overtake and kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, who was at one point a top vice presidential candidate nominee, for operating with no checks and balances. So what we were talking about, and in case those of you that don't know, we know Michigan and we think Detroit, Flint, right? We think kind of blackish. But in northern Michigan, they're known for like their militias and all of their people who believe that they should be free. Now remember,
survival
this is
training, all
survivalists and all of that stuff. And they were also the people that stormed the cap. You know, they came to the Capitol with guns and right. Just this last time
with semi-assault rifles.
It's like they're walking right up to the edge of the law.
Mm-hmm.
They were planning to kidnap her, and this is all part of what I'm telling you about, though, when I said if you think of that plan was just like in Handmaid's Tale.
Right.
I'm just saying. Then you got Kyle Rittenhouse. When I talk to my white friends, they say he's a child soldier. They say they knew. When you listen to Mike Brown and you think about, he said how that kid, like when he was attacked, he stopped instead of like running and doing something crazy, he went right into military mode. Right? Stopped, put himself in a position of fire.
And the point,
I'm trying to get to the point. I am.
I think you're getting there taking too long. Come on.
He's a child soldier, and that there are plenty of child soldiers. I don't know if y'all remember when I told y'all I was on the Dan Ryan during the march when Father Flager led the march on the Dan Ryan, and there were these kids with these earpieces, and they dressed like military from all the way till I got to their shoes, and I was like, you ain't. I was getting out their way. I was like, this ain't the. And I'm starting to feel like these are those guys.
Yes, children are the easiest people to indoctrinate. Why do you think there's so many children who are in street organizations?
Proud Boys. Stand by, stand down. Stand down, stand by. Stay ready.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Pelosi is now threatening to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
That is where they're saying that the president may not be fit to serve.
Oh.
Right? She's talking about convening a committee to declare him unfit. Now, I'm going to suggest that, and then I'm gonna say also that Mayor Lightfoot came out yesterday and said that all roads lead back to
Rome.
To Donald Trump. So she commented on the Gretchen Whitmer case, and then what I did as I looked through all the comments, right? And as I was looking through the comments, it was interesting to see a lot of the responses, both local and nationally, particularly who had seemed to be some of those same white supremacists or militiamen or whatever, survivalists, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me to asking, and then I thought about this plan to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, and I thought about Operation Hummingbird, which I'm going to go back to, which was in Nazi Germany. They killed 17, like over the course of a few days, they killed and kidnapped over 1,700 mid-level government people who made the government go.
Mm-hmm.
And they took out all of the guts. So they wouldn't kill a Nancy Pelosi, but they would take out all of the election people and the top union leaders, people who the average person wouldn't know, but kind of make this whole thing go. And I got to really thinking, and then they said they don't even want to move this Kyle Rittenhouse to Wisconsin because they say they're going to throw him to the wolves. I felt like, dang, wouldn't we have a better shot at him not wouldn't we have a better shot at them in Illinois, but wouldn't it be easier to reach him in Illinois, considering our network and the larger amount of incarcerated black people? I don't know how to say that gingerly. So I guess my question is, should we be preparing for post-election chaos, and what does that look like?
Yeah, I guess
I'm sorry,
we should.
but
I
was
wouldn't have
rushing
said
me.
that
You was rushing
2 days
me.
ago.
But you was rushing me to get to my point. I needed to make my point. That's why I try to, so my ego doesn't get in my way. I try to make sure that I give you some backup, right? I was just thinking about that, though. Do we need to prepare for post-election chaos, and what does that look like? Does it mean that we arm up? Does it mean that we stock up?
I'm not gonna say no.
Right.
You know.
And how?
Hey, just like everybody stocked up for Y2K.
But
I mean, when people stocked up for Y2K, it just wasn't water and food. People bought guns and ammo.
Guns and roses, man. I am. And how do we protect and defend? And it's funny because have protection to defend. I'm looking at Marvin Bell saying have the protection to defend yourself. But what about the collective survival? What happens to people like black people in places like Milwaukee? Yeah, I'm watching you too. Hey man, y'all send up prayers and blessings for Tu and Eric, members of the What's in It for the Black People family, going to explore and expand our sphere of influence. Eric finna ball him out. Tu on the plane. We'll keep that, But anyway, shout out to Tucson. Her. I said what I said. That hurt. No, I'm just joking. Did y'all see Herb and Tu and Dawn and Lisa's picture? We're gonna have to put that up. I think I'm gonna make that the profile in honor of Tucson. Yeah. I think we'll do that. Hey, so let me ask y'all a question. How do we get prepared? And do we have? I mean, and are we? Is it being gassed up? Like, is it being inflamed on both sides? I really do think when you say when Nancy Pelosi says something along the lines of we're going to have him declared insane, declared unfit because he hasn't given us enough COVID information. It's like I get it, but is it only fueling the other side? Let me just tell you.
I don't think you can get them any more geared up. I think they're ready.
Do you think that? Can I tell you what?
I don't think that's the problem. I think he has been walking the line of treason.
Who?
But that's just me.
Okay.
The president.
I'm not. Okay. I'm not going to even debate you on that. I don't know. Like, well, tell me, what do you mean when you say he's walking the line on treason? What does that mean? Give me an example.
Tucson said you're petty.
Pet-T.
I'm Petty Pendergrass.
I think he, as I always say, he's been blowing the dog whistle and kind of stoking the fires of revolution.
Do you?
I don't even think it's revolution. I think it's just what these guys were trying to start. He's trying to start a civil war, more about race than class.
Okay. What do we do to? Is it possible it could pop off though? And what does that look like? Like, what does civil war look like today? Like, do you think it's Tutsis and Hutus? Like where it's like radio, we on the radio and we like, go get them. Go, or is it skirmishes and outbreaks between Antifas and the like
all
we
the
saw,
other side.
like we saw, and kind of all of us are in the middle of it.
I think it's more of that than I think it's the because both sides want to fight. Don't get me wrong. Where do we fit? Do we want to fight? I don't know. Let me say this. No, when I say both sides, I mean like the people that we know, like the Antifas that you're talking about on one side, who are pretty much anti-government, and then the other side, which got all kind of names going on that side. But I guess probably both sides have a lot of groups that I don't know. But one thing they seem to have in common is they want to fight.
Now, if they fight, what are they fighting for?
Oh, I should have said two things they have in common. They want to fight, and they both want less government.
Okay. So, what are they fighting for? And if either side wins, what is the outcome? And what particularly is the outcome for us? Is one of them we go back to slavery, and the other one we're all living in a proletariat?
Oh, I don't think, either side wins, we're through. I don't see how we'd come out well on either side, because we are the minority numbers-wise, and I think both sides are really talking about the majority kind of crushing everything more than they do now.
Huh. So I was, and here's the last one. Darren Chauvin is out.
Who?
See how quickly we see? That's
It was in the Dick Durbin commercial, remember?
George Floyd.
Dick Durbin has a commercial?
George Floyd, the man who killed George Floyd, who we watched on TV, he got out.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're starting to see outbreaks again.
When you say outbreaks, what's that mean?
People are back in the streets.
Protesting that. Yes.
Leading up to the election.
Yeah.
And then don't forget the white women. Take it like a woman. Kamala.
Take it like a woman.
Straight face. And then they showed like 12 different facial expressions. Now here's the thing though. It got news. And it was all over social media. Right? Now, I'm just telling you. Let me ask every black woman out there in the world. In what situation has a white woman ever appreciated your strength when it wasn't to their benefit? Like, seriously. When you saw Martha Raddatz yesterday, liberal white woman, she was like, there is no special privilege that this negress gets. Mm-hmm. She want to be the vice president. Take it from Fly Man. And what did Cecilia Vega say? And her facial expressions. That is definitely going to be an issue. Now, I told y'all about the bounce. Y'all called me a hater. I'm telling you, I got this unique opportunity to look. Somebody bought me some white people glasses one time.
What's that?
Glasses that allow me to see how white people see. Remember when I told you I spent all them years
running around the white churches?
Not just the white churches, but in class, right? And the analysts.
Being the only non-white.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so where nobody was fearful of conversation, they just said what they thought, right? And remember I told you about my friend? I said they're going to look at her as uppity. They're going to interpret it. Remember? And then I told you about my good friend Nick.
Is that the guy who wouldn't let you in the car with the other white people?
No, that's Kurt.
No.
Nick is my good friend from high school who is an American citizen. Right? Who Mike Pence was talking to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was one you talking about yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He said, she sure is smug. Now, they're not going to ever use the word uppity. And then here you go, white, blonde-haired, blue-haired Megyn Kelly, who kicked off the women's liberation Me Too movement, although she was Fox. Right? Roger Ailes, that's the whole beginning of says she needs to take it like a woman. Look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
Now you can join Milwaukee's World on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 on What's in It for the Black People Media.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
You can hang out with Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz 3 to 6 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media, live on the Maze Jackson page. So shout out to Chicago famous. They did their thing. They did a phenomenal job. Those brothers, listen, radio legends, right? And you come in and you used to doing things one way and trying to flip it and do another way. They handled it seamlessly, man. So shout out to Mike Love and Diz for holding it down as they always have done. Welcome to the What's in It for the Black People Media family. Good luck at achieving #2 status for the second best show on What's in It for the Black People Media, because #1 is and always will be I Said What I Said.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
Whenever I play, I want to play to win. I don't see no purpose in playing.
You play to win the game.
What's the word?
In the famous
Can
words
you
of
beat
Palmer.
my ass, though?
Can you whoop my ass, though?
It's really that simple. I don't plan on getting my ass whooped.
Hey, yo, wait a minute. Hey.
Chicago famous ain't gonna whoop my ass.
And Chicago
we
famous
not here for no ass whooping.
Hey, what's your problem, man? Y'all are brothers. You ain't supposed to be fighting each other.
We not here for no ass whooping.
That's not what we here for.
We're not here for no ass whooping.
It's not what we here for.
Not at all.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Tucson Warner and Herb Howard, live on What's in It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve us. What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore on her way back. We are on the father's ship, Sonia Escobar, flying the... Watch out for the asteroids. Okay, all right. Asteroids, man, you gotta be... Asteroids is about as popular as the bullets on the Dan Ryan up here, man.
No.
You got to duck, dodge, and dip. Hey, man, Todd.
Yes?
As much as I love to talk about, I'm not positive that we're ready. I'm not positive 100% that we are ready.
You mean black people for a revolution?
Yeah.
I mean, even if somebody else starts it up?
If somebody else starts it up, like, I feel like the other people been planning. Like, I think it's a lot of people willing to die who don't have anything to live for. Don't have much to live for. I think we see that transpiring with our numbers in the streets, right? But then I think there are other people who are not prepared, and I don't know. I do feel like either, no matter who wins, like with the vote by mail, with the Nancy Pelosi, with the Trump dog whistles, with all of it, I think there is this plot to kidnap Megan Whitmer. We are wearing masks, right? They were part of what their fight was, is that, and I don't know how philosophical it was to the whole. Well, I do think that the mask thing is one of those things that Trump is using to gas up people, right?
Yeah, it is part of, this is, well, you were in Springfield, but this is what you learn when you're in Springfield. There's a whole part of the state outside of Cook County who always thinks that the state is only trying to take away your rights.
The tax man.
Well, taxes is always part of it.
But you know, I think about when they used to say the tax man is coming in, the guys would get their guns and be like, the tax man ain't coming in the Western.
The revenuer.
Yes.
But in this instance, you can look at things such as cigarettes, wearing a helmet while riding a motorcycle. Those are the kind of things that they always have fought against, tax on cigarettes, and telling me I have to do. They think that those rights are, those are the type of people who are gearing up and saying, okay, we've had enough.
The don't tread on me people.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that flag has some meaning. Hans tells me a lot of stuff that I don't know.
What does that flag mean?
I forgot. But it is used by one of these groups that, you know, we would consider kind of right-wing nuts.
It's funny. My friend lives in Oak Park, and he says he sees them all the time.
You'd be surprised about Oak Park. People think Oak Park is a bunch of liberals running around with flowers and stuff. Ooh, there's some rough people over. Well, I'm talking about white people in Oak Park.
Okay, so don't tread on me means to United States patriots, unified resistance to oppression of liberties, oppression both by one's own government and by foreign powers. It began as an early symbol of defiance to the tyrannical King George and the British government during the American Revolution. To the American soldiers of the late 1700s, most specifically the Continental Marines, it represented what they were fighting for. To modern patriots, it represents what we have to lose, and that we are prepared to strike if those inalienable rights are threatened.
You know, they call themselves patriots. They call themselves patriots.
The Patriot Act. That's crazy, though, man. So I think we need to be thinking about this. Real talk. Like, hey, you better call Instructor Mike. Straight up. Triggered.
I'm hoping the feds are thinking about this.
The feds are. They was the ones who busted it up.
That's true. So they are.
They are thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I would have thought that with this federal government, they would have let it happen.
No. Matter of fact, the president actually said, how can she talk about me? He's talking about the governor. It was my people who did this. I always thought it's always interesting when people in high power talk about departments as if it's like their department. Like, you know, but yeah, that's what he says.
Shoot. When Mike Madigan talked about, well, he didn't talk about it. Mike McClain talked about Mike. Let me stop. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Chicago Community Trust. Chicago Community Trust has decided to make a major commitment. They are going to give $25 million to rebuild Chicago. Now, here's the key word: equitably. $25 million to rebuild Chicago equitably. This was an announcement made yesterday by Mayor Lori Lightfoot. I am going to say, as the Native Americans say, she's she who speaks with forked tongue. I have been convinced in the last 365 days that the words equity one mean helping white people, rich white people catch up with richer white people. But I also have come to the conclusion that it is the magic, if in the event that they do not have a magic Negro conjurer, then they substitute it with the word equity. As if we should be pacified by it. Now, so then we take a deeper look at it and we say, what do they mean? And they said together, it is part of their Together We Rise program. Now, you know when they start naming stuff, right? When they start naming, name a program like that, this like to lift every voice. Together We Rise. That's like another, they won't even say lift every voice. They sneak around it. Let me stop. Together We Rise.
Well, I think you're right. These programs tend to mean that we will either spend money in a place, but it doesn't really mean that that money will be spent among the people who are there.
Right. We will make it, we will give you the fish that you need.
Right.
Now, what they said is it will ensure that there is procurement, hiring, income tax, earned income taxes, and policies that reflect positively in the Black and Latinx communities. Now, Todd,
you know what that means? That means that somebody who has capital or access to capital can start a business and maybe he'll hire a couple of you guys.
Like the weed business? Remember? Okay.
Any black people in the weed shops? I don't know.
No. Not equitably.
Right.
It's like our idea of equity is the Negro deal. Like our idea of equity is as long as we're in the deal.
Right.
Right. It's not we bring value and we get value equal to what we bring. It is, in fact, the Negro deal.
It's like, I think I told you the story many moons ago. It's like when Mayor Watson was bringing cable to the city, and, of course, you need capital to get in. So Al Johnson of Al Johnson Cadillac was someone, but they told him, here, you can give us some money, but you're not going to be on the board. You don't have any say. You'll get a dividend. And he was like, I don't need your stuff. And he left.
Yeah. Remember, that's just like the white guy on Tuesday night who was like, oh, I'll hire you Negroes.
Right.
But did you say you want to make some money? and did you say you wanted to make profit?
You want to make white money?
Right. You want profit. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you bought some land with the hopes of it appreciating and you being able to capitalize on the appreciation?
Right.
Nigga, who taught you appreciation?
Mm-hmm.
Besides, thank you.
Right.
Don't you know what appreciation means? You should be happy that I would even consider talking to you.
Right.
Now, here's what concerns me. So when they talk about this equitable, this Together We Rise and this $25 million to rebuild equitably, and you ask, where's the money going? Their answer was, mostly money goes to projects already on the go. Now, please tell me what equitable projects are already on the go in Chicago. Any projects that are now, and again, I want to be informed. How about this? Can someone call me and tell me about the equitable projects that are currently, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. And what I'd love for you to do is, and I'm looking for Black Chicago to call me and tell me what equitable projects are going on in your neighborhoods, in your communities. Now, and then what I want to do is, and maybe somebody can give me a definition of what they think equity means. Right? Because I think we're confused sometimes about what equity really is. And I'm not talking about the whole, Well, I'm not confused. Not equity, what Chicago equity, because Chicago equity means, Negro, you should be happy that you should be able to make pennies on the dollar. I don't care how smart you are.
Right.
You should be thankful that we gave you an opportunity to make, not what you're worth, but that you should be able to make something.
It's
not
like
what you're capable of.
It's like the construction thing where, all right, you're part of the deal. No, you don't get to hire any people, but we'll give you some money.
Which has become a cottage industry where that is how our major construction companies have now learned to operate. So the white guys have said, okay, we'll put you in charge of purchasing. We're going to tell you what to buy, from who. You can mark it up 10%, and that's your win, and you are now part of the deal. Now, that might be $2 million. That may be $3 million on a $300 million deal.
Right.
And we celebrate that. Again, I'm going to tell you. Being average, being a black person doing what average, not successful white people do, but average white people do, is enough to make black people get mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. And it's like, when they keep coming to us telling us equity, seriously, they said, where will the $25 million go? Mostly money goes to projects already on the go. Now, we're last in all 16 economic indicators. I don't know any of the black construction companies that are needing to grow, right? You know, we got the 3 black big construction companies. I'd love to see the number of black people working payrolls, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to hate on them.
Mm-hmm.
What I find happening is that money is rich white people tax write-offs that they then spend with their friends who are making appreciating investments in black neighborhoods.
Mm.
So that when you Negroes aren't here, I'm going to put it all together for you at 7:30 when we talk about all of these units of housing that were bought in a bundle on the south side of Chicago. Over 453 units of housing bought by one company. And the south side is being divided up by people that everybody is calling slumlords.
Hmm.
So that now, coincidentally, the Chicago Community Trust can invest $25 million. And if I'm a smart white guy, I'm going to have me executive director of my foundation go and apply for all of these grants. And we're going to rebuild the neighborhoods that we know we moving y'all out of in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to package it as we're investing in your communities. No, I'm pioneering the land.
Right.
With a tax write-off for all of the corporations that want to be involved. Now, I understand they got a lot of money. But show me besides the round table where it's come out for us. We have all these conversations, put all our ideas on the table, then they come back and execute them in our neighborhoods. We're excited that they built it in our neighborhoods, knowing that they go in 10 years, they plan in 10 years, 15 years down the road when you ain't there.
Right.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected. Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore, come on back. Come on back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sonia Escobar, flying the fathership. We are rounding Pluto. It's like we getting ready to head around the backside of Pluto. So let me do this. I was going to save this till 7:30, but I'm going to just bring it on into the conversation because the more and more I think about it, the more it seems to make sense. So what we see right now is Chicago Community Trust has committed to investing $25 million to rebuild equitably. Now, y'all know how I feel about equitably, but I'm a park that. It's the Together We Rise program. It's to ensure that Black and Hispanic communities that were destroyed during the uprisings rebuild. How it will happen is through procurement, hiring, income taxes, and policies, and revised policies. When asked how the money will be distributed, the money will go to projects already on the go. Now, the Chicago Community Trust, in my estimation, isn't it a place where you give philanthropically, if you're wealthy, to the community trust, and then they aggregate the money and then reallocate it to different projects, and you, if you're wealthy.
That's how I read it, yes.
It is a philanthropic organ that all of the rich people give their money to make, not all of them, but a bunch of them, to make sure that it's distributed to good charitable places, vetted, etc.
The way they like.
To people they like, right? Now, you may know them as the people who arrange those round tables that go on around our community.
Oh, yeah.
Once a month.
I did a couple of those.
Right. Well, me too. But it's basically all the Black people telling all of their ideas.
Yeah.
Right? What they could do to make their community better. And then they're all kind of collected. And then you find people getting funded, etc. Now, they're committing this $25 million as an initial investment. They also have another $35 million fund. But they're investing this $25 million. Now, what was destroyed during the uprisings? Mostly Asian, Arab-owned businesses and major corporate businesses.
Yeah.
Right? Because we don't really own many of the businesses in our community.
Right.
So when they go back to rebuild, essentially they're going to make bigger and better corner stores, clothing stores. What was destroyed in our neighborhoods during this time? Okay. Now, what I also want to bring up is, Todd, I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday, Hillco Real Estate managed an auction of 45 buildings that went into foreclosure on the south side of Chicago.
I saw that. How do you do that?
Do what?
How do you get the bundle that many?
So they take a portfolio, right? So essentially what happened was there was a investment group out of Ohio called the Better Housing Foundation. I remember this because they were on the other station promoting that they were these white guys that came in and they were like, we're buying up all these communities and we're going to sell them, run them back to people and then get them at economic value. And we were pumping it all up.
So the whole point of their group was to sell houses.
Not sell, to rent. So they were buying they were buying properties, 2, 3, 6 flats all throughout that went into foreclosure during the housing crisis. And with the help of...
I used to get the foreclosure numbers. Boy, the black neighborhoods were decimated.
And so...
in the north neighborhoods, you'd see like, oh, there's one. It was incredible.
So if you think about it, what they saw was an Obama library coming, whole swaths of land all around Obama land that would eventually become prime rental locations. But in the meantime, they could drain them, milk them, by not investing very much in them.
These are non-for-profit people, right?
Yeah, but non-profit doesn't mean you don't make money, that you don't get paid. It just means that you're not supposed to have it at the end of the year. So you use a non-profit to get all the tax breaks, the tax write-offs. The Illinois Finance Authority actually wrote the bonds for this. So they financed it. They bought up all of these properties. They didn't manage them well. They were in the black neighborhoods. So it's like they basically created these new slumlords from people out of town that they no longer could manage them and keep up with them, so they lost the buildings.
It shows you how things are a circle, because that happened with a lot of things on the low end where they would own things and then the original owners would die and their children would have it, and it'd be in some kind of trust fund that you couldn't find out who it was, and they would just get the money and then they would just leave the property and they didn't care what happened to it, and eventually it'd go into demolition.
So so it's really crazy. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. So then they go bankrupt and their portfolio is then taken over by a real estate management company, Hillco Real Estate Management. Now, I want to know if this is the same Hillco that knocked down the plant in Little
Village?
In Little Village.
Yeah.
Which would tell me that there's an industry of wrecking black and brown communities, even though I'm not trying to bring them together. But then what you find is they then take the bundle, give the bundles of properties, and then put them in bundles that are too large for one individual or small investors to buy. Right. So you put a 453 package together and you sell it for $18 or $20 million.
Man, not very many people can buy that.
Not many people can buy it. And so these large investment groups then buy whole communities that they are able to milk. Right. And you're talking about some of these are like historic buildings that, you know how it's like historic buildings on the north side and then you see the same thing on the south side, but it ain't kept up. But if you burnish it and clean it up and put it together, you know in 10 years it's going to be off the chain.
Right.
That's exactly what they did. So now this group has now been broken up and Pangea buys half of their portfolio. Now, how many people have had experience with Pangea? Give us a call if you've had and tell us what those experiences are, because I've heard horror stories.
I just know they own a lot of buildings. You know,
they own a lot. They've invested in buying. There is a whole network of investors who have made their business investing in slums, managing them as little as they can, and then being able to know that they're going to turn over in 10 years and they can sell those same buildings for millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of what I was trying to do with my thing, but they was like, no, nigga, get off that nag. So now when we come back, I'm going to tie it all together for you. And then we're going to tie, because think about this. They use nonprofit foundations to buy all of these under the guise of providing better housing for us.
Right.
Then after they failed, created more slums, then they sold and auctioned. What would you say if I told you that the person that initially, that they bought the property from, then rebought the property back at an auction?
Huh?
At the same time that the Chicago Community Trust is now going to be investing $25 million. Now, do you think that the rich real estate investors that are putting money into didn't say, why don't you rebuild these neighborhoods that we about to go buy, that we just bought?
Right.
See how we, in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Tax burden of the average middle-class American goes way beyond income taxes. There are sales taxes, real estate taxes, gasoline taxes, and many, many more. As an international businessman, I know that by reducing the billions of dollars we give to other countries, we could help fund our own country. We need to rethink our tax laws and lower the taxes for our own citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
What's up, good people? Make sure you ascend into Muwakil's world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Salim Muwakil, a.k.a. the Black Forrest Gump, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
He is joining Chicago famous Mr. Rick Party.
I remember meeting the Brat before she was big. We were going to Jack the Rapper conference in Atlanta.
Jack the Rapper again.
So she's sitting, you know, waiting for a plane. She got her braids in her hair, got her overalls on, and she saw me walk up to the gate. She's like, Rick's Party, oh my God! You know, she's doing all of that. I said, well, who are you? She goes, I'm the Brat. I'm a new rapper from the, you know, I live on the West Side. I'm with So Def. I'm about to meet Jermaine Dupri. I did sub on Chris Cross's song. I think it was it The Bomb or something like that? Or
Right.
Yeah. She did some on there. So that was my introduction to her. So she would come back to my show every now and then and help me introduce the Coke Top 99. I remember we played a home jam and had people judge her song, right? And some people like, it's all right, it's okay. And she's like, yo, you know.
Wow.
Straight West Side, man. It was crazy.
Straight West Side.
Yeah, so.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. You thought I was about to kick a rap flow? No, I won't. Might come back and... Nah, it's okay. I'm going to stop. Hey, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, is it coincidental? Wait a minute. First of all, let me back up. You know it's the weekend, right?
Friday.
And you know what I do on Fridays? You know I like to sit back with a nice... refreshing beverage. Sometimes I like
red Kool-Aid, and sometimes you like the purple one?
Sometimes I like spirits in my drink. Sometimes I may sit back and choose to sip on a cool crafted blend of hops. So Todd, and when I do that, I tend to stand by.
Is that liquor?
No, man, it's not liquor. It is
I'm not really sure how that works.
Of hops and barley, you know.
Is that beer?
Yes.
Brew.
Craft brew. Sometimes I might even just sit back and have a Stella. But when I do,
is that real beer?
Yes, it's
I mean alcohol.
Now I'm starting to think I shouldn't drink Belgian beer though. Now that I think about how evil slavers they were.
Yeah, they were terrible people.
Man, good God, they were terrible. But I get it from Kimbark. And what I love about when I go to Kimbark is, first of all, it's black owned, black staff. Like even, like how usually they put the black people up front in the black neighborhood, but in the back, it's black owner.
Right.
Only black owned beverage shop on the south side, I believe. But when you go in there, you look for the red, black, and this is what I want y'all to do. I want the What's in It for the Black People audience. Make sure you let them know you heard about Kimbark on What's in It for the Black People Media. We need them to continue sponsoring us. They always say, man, y'all do us on Fridays. Like, we don't even need y'all to talk about us no day but Friday, because on Friday, we want to clear out the red, black, and green beverages on the shelves. Just make them be gone. That tequila is black owned. Telling you. All right.
I'll stop by and get some muscatel on the way home.
All right, let's go to the live line. Let's start with, I think we got Taylor on the line. Taylor, you are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. What you got on what's going on? You telling me about Pangea? You telling me about the South Side being sold? I'm concerned that the rich white folks have figured out a way to maneuver a press conference out of our demise. Talk to me.
Yes, Maze. Love you so much. Unfortunately, I had to sit in my car and listen to you for the past hour because I can't get you at home, honey. But I'm doing the best I can. That just shows you how.
Now, first of all, let me tell you, thank you so much for that. Do you have the app? Do you have a smartphone? Because you can download the TuneIn app.
I have a cheap. I got a phone that. What is it? I got a government phone.
Oh, okay.
A cell phone, but so I'm trying to do the best I can.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate.
Actually in my car. I'm in my car in front of my house listening to you.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. I'm so honored.
I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. What I was going to say was that listening to what you're talking about with that Chicago Community Trust, I was in tears because I was talking to somebody last night. I'm trying to find housing, and there are a lot of black middle class, working class. I'm sorry, I should say middle class, working class people. I know people who got $10,000, $15,000 in the bank trying to buy them something. And I'm wondering, could you tell me, is this what's going on in the IDB well when they cleared their land up? Is that what they're doing over there? They're taking it back. What are they doing? I need to have a meeting with you because there's some things I can't say over the radio.
Well, look, let's set that up. I'm gonna have Sonia get your information. She has your number, so I'm gonna reach back out for you and we'll talk about that. I can't speak exactly what's happening over in that area, but I think the process is always the same. We see spikes in violence.
Yeah.
We see spikes in violence. We see the value of the land, and you see the marketing of it start to be, it's a bad place to be, right? Then we start to clear out, we move out. Then you start to see the property values drop. You watch these trusts and corporations come in and buy 3 flats, 6 flats, not at this large level. What you used to see was people who used to live in the quote-unquote old neighborhood buying those places and then selling or leasing them back, whether it be on contract or whether it was you rented, and they didn't put very much value into them, knowing that in 10 to 20-year cycle, that place would then be a much more profitable situation. I think that's what we're seeing here. I think it's coincidental. I don't think it's coincidental that the largest philanthropic arm in Chicago decides to invest in these same communities at the same time that these large purchases are happening. Now, here's what makes it so bogus, though. because those properties were sold at an average price of about $35,000 a unit.
Mm.
Now, you think about $35,000 a unit. I could put together the money for a 6-flat, almost in cash.
Right.
And build a property where myself, my family, and I could provide affordable housing in that community and keep it up. But the trick was they bundled it.
Yeah, well, that knocks just about everybody out.
Which knocks everybody out because you can't even come to the auction without proof of funds.
Right.
So if you can't prove that you can put up $20 million, then you can't come. Now, then what you find is and then what you found was this whole thing was financed by Illinois taxpayers, who then, through the Illinois Finance Authority, Chris Meister gave the money. Now, you know who Chris Meister is, right? You know where he comes from.
Where?
The Senate president. But this is why, now check this out, but this is why we're left out of the game. Because if I got my guy as the head of the Illinois Finance Authority and I have a law firm, I could do deals way across the country or across that you would never ever see. Now, I'm not bringing that, but what I'm suggesting is with all the black, think about this, and they did it with nonprofits. Think about the Negro nonprofits. Y'all about downtown begging. They done sold and resold these properties 3 times. Took the money, write it off as a nonprofit, pass it off, and the properties are now back in the hands of the original owners. Now, I won't even get community specific here. I won't. But the people who, I'm not going to even read the names, but they should ordinarily, we would be told that they are our allies, that they have our best interests at hand. Think about when they sold this idea. They literally came to black media to do it.
Well, you know, Maisie, the issue as I see it is they don't see any value in somebody, like you're saying, buying a 3-flat, 6-flat, moving their family in and renting the rest out. They see value in some outsider buying the block and then trying to get people to rent to them.
And at the same time, taking the wealth, because what they want to do is rent it to us until they run it into the ground, hoping that because our standards keep getting lower and lower and lower, so now you're living in a space paying a premium rent that they got financed by us.
Right.
Then, after they milk it, because he done bought his $1 million house and car and all of that stuff, you can declare bankruptcy, you can put it in this, and now you sell it, and now the guy got it all, and they all made profits every single time. And now at this same exact time, you want to convince me that the philanthropic arm is going to invest in what, Todd? The projects that are already underway. But telling me there's equity. Can somebody tell me when there's equity? Let me go to the live line. McDuffie, you on the Mace Jackson show.
Hello.
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 Yeah. The area you're talking about is West Woodlawn.
Correct.
That's one of the hot areas around here. Thank you. And that's all I had to say.
Thank you. West Woodlawn. Think about that, though. Think about the fact that even as my best friend in my head is fighting to keep affordable housing in that neighborhood, West Woodlawn, what's that? Ain't that Obama land?
No, Obama land.
It is. It's Obama land.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
They have now they packaged up, just think, the black wealth that could have been created by breaking that bundle up and allowing Todd, $180,000. You can go get a loan, dang near 100% loan on a $180,000 property because the value is there.
Right.
And have the money to fix it up.
Instant equity.
Instant equity. And right now, they're selling us, and at the same time, the county is telling us that they got, again, $20 million to give out to homeowners to pay their mortgages. Fish over fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
And do we believe in equity? Like, what? Can somebody please call me with a tangible example of equity and how it has worked for black people since it's become the diffusion word? Can somebody please call me 872-259-7474? Can somebody tell me what equity means to black people in Chicago for real? Because I know they understand, Todd, if you knew you had the opportunity to buy Obama land. 453. Now here, can I just tell you something? They bought those units at $35,000 a pop. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the building, the 2 acres I had?
Mm-hmm.
I bought them for a low number. They're going to be able to, in rent alone, if they just charge $1,000 a month in rent alone for the next 10 years, they will have made their money back times 10.
Mm.
And then when the neighborhood flips, it turns into that 6 flat in Obama land that is now the 6 flat in Obama land. That's one of those extra large apartments that you could turn into a luxury place when you go in and flip it and fix it. And now you can sell it for $500,000.
Yeah, my insurance guy, God rest his soul, he owned the building. And
was that Levy?
No.
Oh, okay.
And his name was Dyson.
Shout out to Matt Levy. Rest in peace. Go ahead.
St. Felicitas. But
shout out to my boy Chris Levy. Go ahead.
Man, you don't know nothing about no Levies. So anyway, his house. I mean, I went to his place because he did his business out of his building, and you're right. I mean, that thing was huge. It was just he had like a sunroom in one end and a sunroom at the other. I was like, man, this is bigger than my house.
Those properties over there are those. Remember, there used to be a time when that Woodlawn area was a good place to live for white folks.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge old apartments with, when they're restored, they got like Greek gods on the front. In fact, we don't see it because it's all dusty, but you know, like when the white folks dust off the whole rehabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that. It's the Mace Jackson. But do you think it's a coincidence? Did anybody ever call me and tell me about the equitable projects that are already going on? Can somebody please call me and tell me about the equity projects that are already going on? It's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Illinois have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change, and with your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Now you can join Milwaukee's World on
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday
from 11 to 1 on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, And that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's In It for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The Blackest Conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's In It for the Black People Media, 1 to 3 p.m.
The birthday line is, easily, or the birthday bash, whatever you want to call it.
Our hit record.
That's our hit record.
That's our hit record.
That's our one. That's my girl.
That's my girl by the Temptations. Like no matter where we go, we gotta do that.
Ready to go down?
Yes, we are.
Come on, who's on that birthday line?
It's Mandy and Baby.
And how old are you on this day?
I'm 14, I'm 13.
Go ahead. It's your birthday. Go ahead. Definitely let out twins. Where y'all from?
South.
Where y'all from?
Ida B.
Bad boy, gonna say my Ida B.
From WGX. That's 3 down.
Two more projects.
Bill on the show called It's Your Birthday.
Go, 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 go. Question. Hey, she doing the question. No more to go.
With the show called It's Your Birthday.
Hey, let that play.
It took, man.
I'm tired just listening to that.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore on her way back in the building. She'll be back on Monday. We're going to count the countdown, the Ruthie Moore sightings. She's been saving children all around the world. Is she like a midwife?
What?
Saving babies.
I don't think she's a midwife.
All right, let's go
Or a
to
general.
okay, something. I'm going to tell you. I told you. Ruthie is an underground black beret. Right? At night. Can't tell nobody. Sorry.
Right.
Secret.
Keep that a secret.
You know, Ruthie be rocking camouflage fatigues. She got on her black beret.
Mm-hmm.
She got on, she put the black eye paint on. She like, say to people. Let's go to the live lines. Who's on the live line? Mark, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Mark, you hung up? All right. Well, let me tell y'all. It just seems as like, to me, that we have been hoodoozled. That's hoodwinked and bamboozled together. And I'm not sure we should be trusting the white folks who are telling us that they are coming. When white folks say that they are going to come and invest in our community but can't point to who with who, through whom, when they say they're going to invest in, they're going to use Together We Rise to ensure black and brown communities rebuild, do we get to participate in our own rebuilding? Or will we stand on the corner and watch as our communities are rebuilt? And then as they become desirable, those same brothers that are standing on the corners are now being asked to leave because then the houses is too nice.
Right.
What's going on? What is happening? Help me understand when the Chicago Community Trust says they're going to invest in $25 million and the mayor stands up and tells us about equitably rebuilding. Todd, what are they going to do? Like, when have we seen an example of the mayor being about the equity that she speaks about? Give me one.
Hey, man, I think you said it. You hit it right on the head that government tends to be about making people rich or re-rich. So there's a lot of plans that come through, but the older I got, the more I realized that the plans never really had anything that helped the. It's the fish theory. They'll give you a fish, but
can you imagine
somebody else gets the whole boat?
Can you imagine a black person coming in and saying, I want to buy all of the foreclosed homes in a white neighborhood?
No.
And we want to, we got a black investment group, and we want to buy all the foreclosed homes in the white neighborhoods. And there being a package created in which we could then buy those homes, run them into the ground, operate them as slums, then bounce with state money.
No, and
state money. The Illinois Finance Authority, and then they sold it for less than what they paid for it. So they made a bad investment with our money.
Yeah, you're right. No, because the thought would be, well, if they're buying this, it's going to be a slum. That would be their first thought. If we can't sell to them, it'll be a slum. And like when they sell it to other groups who will make it in paradise.
Can you find my godfather, please? Sell it, give it to their animals, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, and we hear these stories all the time about white folks coming into our neighborhoods. We are what they say, if you're not making the product, you are the product.
Right.
We are the product for white folks in every situation. And so if you apply the Godfather dope game to housing, here's what it would sound like.
I also don't believe in drugs. For years, I paid my people extra so they wouldn't do that kind of business. Somebody comes to them and says, I have powders. If you put up $3,000, $4,000 investment, we can make $50,000 distributing. So they can't resist. I want to control it as a business, to keep it respectable. I don't want it near schools. I don't want it sold to children. That's an infamia. In my city, we would keep the traffic in the dark, people to colored. They're animals anyway, so let them move their soul.
Let's replace the drugs and call it slums. If you replace slums, that essentially is what happened.
You're right. Yeah.
And the challenge for me is that simultaneously, this is happening while they're selling us on equity. Same people who cut us out of cannabis. Todd, and can we be clear here that wealth is being created?
It's
been triply created. Because don't you, when you finance those deals, Todd, don't they take their money off the top? Like once the bank closes, you get your money.
It's like they say, the house always gets paid.
So the white slum owners it's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's talk about this. You know what? When we come back, I'm going to go back to the black problem. And then don't forget, we got Tell Me Something Good. But this is part of the reason the Democrats got a black problem. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTBPM. Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. In my life, I've gone from cotton field to corporate boardroom. I've seen great success and walked many roads. I know how it feels not to have. I'm asking you to vote for me for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I can do the work that few others may understand. A vote for me is a step in the right direction for our state and our country.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance, and we were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. You know, however, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The Blackest Conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
1 to 3 p.m.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to last, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve them.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Get some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Ruthie Moore in the jungles of the urban world. Urban gorilla. Gorilla. What they call a female gorilla? G-U gorilla. G-E-U gorilla, not a G-O gorilla.
Right.
Shout out to Miss Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. I'm gonna go to the live line. Wait, we got calls. This is not the Soul Plane. It's the Fathership today. We coming back around Pluto. Man, that sun was hot. Man, Todd, you look like you got a little crispy.
Hey, that's that happens every year.
You can't, Todd. Next time, I told you cannot look out the window and look directly at the sun, man. Stop it. Now we are headed back. Looks like we are about to coming up on Earth, looking at the atmosphere. Boy, it's coming into focus. But before we move on, because I want to talk about the black problem, we are going to talk about what just happened on the the auctioning off of the south side of Chicago. 453 units of housing at an average price of $35,000 per unit. Todd, that's 3 years of rent. For 3 years worth of rent, somebody is now owning the south side, and they will be able to own those properties on your rent, financed by the Illinois Finance Authority, as they create slums that they will convert into multi-million-dollar homes because they just purchased Obama land. Let's go to the live line. Who we got? Let's go to Claude Trisha. I don't know. Make sure I'm not exactly. Is it Patricia? Man, Siri be tripping sometimes. What's up? Who is that, caller? Did you hang up? Oh, Trisha. Temple, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Todd. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say I made the switch.
Hey.
Yes. I don't know that what you're saying seems like it's illegal. It appears it's just more of just on a higher level.
Temple. Let me do this. I need you to go get you some bars. We're gonna hold you on, but you're cutting in and out. So I need you. We want to get your call. Russians trying to stop us. They don't want us to make it. So Sonia, put her on cue, and then we're gonna come right back to her. We'll give her a hot second to get back. Don't hang up. Just move around a little bit and get you some bars. Todd, just think about. That's one more of those opportunities where Black people are left out. Like, that's where when you talk about equity, that was a perfect opportunity to create equity. That's when your racial rapid response equity team is supposed to bust up the bill. They're supposed to say, there's no way, we learned this in construction. Unbundle the packages so it can be accessible.
Right.
But no, you bundle them so that you say that these Negroes can't afford to buy that.
Right. Now only 1% of the population can even come in the room.
Exactly. You can't even say, ooh, 53rd in Michigan, I could buy that building.
No, you can't.
I could put my daughter on one floor, and get off the roads. And let's go back. Is Temple there? Come on, Temple. Talk to me.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for holding me. I wanted to say equity would have been working with the Cook County Land Bank, putting funds from CHA. We've never heard the mayor speak to CHA. We have homelessness that is just repulsive in all of our communities, and bundling of these properties is just more a rapid fast forward of removing us from the cities because there will be no affordable houses. Where is the CHA funds? Why together and help people who are waiting on lists for housing and who families who could utilize the Choose to Home ownership program? It just seems like.
Oh, you breaking up the racket.
They're trying.
Temple, they trying to stop the people. There they go. Remember, she didn't want me to take calls back in the day. So Temple, let me tell you, I think you're 100% right. I think there was a lot of ways to deal with that. I think, Todd, when you think about this, they said they could spend $20 million on mortgage relief programs. We could have took 10 of that million and provided the startup capital, or not the startup capital, but you could qualify homes, like she said with the Cook County Land Bank, and said, let's take all of those, let's market them specifically, let's make them a protected market, and let's build Black home ownership. And all of those people who live in that neighborhood did Jeanette Taylor get a chance to be even in on that? Right? Like, think about if we were included on the solution as to how this property that in our community was going to go. Just think about this. Think about all the property that Leon Finney had. And that got chopped up.
Right.
And sold up. And how many of us were able to buy our neighborhoods back?
I was thinking maybe one of the problems that happened when, they were selling properties just to everybody is that even if you get a mortgage, that doesn't mean that you'll be able to
pay it.
Right. So helping with the upfront costs could make a mortgage affordable.
And then they had all the rackets, the mortgage insurance that ran up the price, so that there's all types of just crazy stuff that they did to make white wealth. Yeah. Think about the mortgage insurance makes your mortgage payment go up $400 a month just in case you don't pay, and they made it law so that the companies that provide it could force you, especially as a black person, to buy this stuff.
Right.
It's crazy. Let's go to the live line. Who else is on there? Cherie, you're on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning.
Okay, I love you guys. I was talking about the Southside real estate. I was a CHA inspector for like over 5 years. And every time I inspected a property on the south side or the west side, our people stayed there, but they were never owned by our people. Mm. And I was just amazed at how many buildings that's in our community, but we have no ownership in our community. Maybe a block on the west side got 20 buildings, 2 flats. I might see 1 black owner. No. So that's been going on for a minute, and I'm surprised that we don't even see that they ban up everything, pushing us out, making it so hard that we can't even buy in our communities. Everywhere you go, everybody else got their own community except for us.
I 100% agree. And then they don't invest in it. We haven't necessarily, you treat your own stuff better, right? So I think in a lot of those places, they feel like they don't have to fix, they don't have to repair, they don't have to do anything because those people will still live there. And I would argue that, quite frankly, a lot of people don't even know where to start. If you have been a renter all of your life, you don't even know how to start to own the place where you live. Right. And you really wouldn't know, even though, and here's the funny part. You got a lot of these 2 flats where the people are paying the mortgage in one building, in one unit. So you're paying literally their mortgage, and you could afford your own and have the other as a bonus.
Right, if you knew and understood it.
And it's not it's not making you generationally wealthy, but it is at least taking you off the rolls, right? Like, it's like if you got a 2 flat, one person owns it, you renting, the rent person is paying for the building, and now these people can get a little bit ahead.
Right.
Instead of taking rent from all of these places. And I'm saying the crazy part to me about this is this is just us talking on the radio. We didn't have 5 years of watching this slow decline happen, and we just came up with this solution right here. This is when you gotta ask, where are our electeds? Like, how do we allow out 453 units, and that's only a part of it because Pangea bought the other part of the portfolio, and they bundled it up and took it. And they already own half of the South Side.
Yeah, right. Well, see, this is where, and I was thinking about this while I was trying to go to sleep. This is where my public policy group comes in, where they are an outside group who are not elected officials, who come to the table and say, look, we've been studying this, we've done the research. This is what can be done to solve the problem of never getting black people anything.
Can I suggest that it goes back to our impressions of ourselves? Knowing that all of that property was available, there was a white lobbyist or someone who presented the white boy with the foundation to black people as Eminem. The white boy with the money, the investors, has the ability to have all of the flash to come in to sponsor your bike program, to sponsor all of the little stuff as he's building his space. And now you're happy to have this contributor who's going to take all of these slums. This is how it's packaged. Rich white boy from out of town with a nonprofit organization comes to town and says, we know that your communities have been blighted. by disinvestment and foreclosure. We have a group that's going to come in and buy these properties. We're going to invest millions of dollars, and we're going to provide quality, stable homes in the space of 2 flats and 3 flats that are affordable for people so that they're not sky rises. But there's an investment model here, right? So now the investment model says we can get this much money per unit in 2 flats. Instead of stacking them, it's like you can buy a whole community for the cost of, let's say, $18 million. And if $18 million, you got 453 units that then pay you $1,000 a month. That's $453,000 a month that you have paid. So that's $500,000 a month. So every 2 months you're making $1 million so how many months does it take you? 18 months, you've paid off the package. Now you're making $500,000 a month in net. And it's not net because you still got other expenses. But in 18 months, you've paid off those units, right? In 18 months, you've paid off buying a whole community that you own for the rest of your life. Now you still continue to collect $500,000 a month with little low cost because it's the Negroes that live over there. So you ain't got to invest all the time waiting for the Obama Center to be built because you know that as soon as 12 months are over, right? I mean, in 5 years, you've been taking $500,000 a month out of these properties. So you got money to go to a bank to package them and fix them, and you get to show the appreciation of the land. So that $60,000, that $35,000 unit is now worth $500,000.
You know how this works is the land speculation through the finance eyes is the most riskiest form of investment. So that's where your group comes in, the non-for-profit, where they do something and then they give it to you for cents on the dollar. So even if it went belly up, you're still whole.
And the nonprofit then can go get all the tax credits and the tax incentives that bring the value down for the investors.
Right.
And the investors now win because they get to write off all of this as nonprofit investment that then pays them back.
Yes. So they win-win.
And so now when I see these white guys who are the same guys that all the way win the big circle now own it, they're investing $25 million into these same neighborhoods that we own nothing of.
What do you always say? They write laws so they won't go to jail.
Right.
But that they'll make money.
Exactly. It's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I would never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
WIFTBPM. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Do we have any more calls? Are we done? All right, we through with the calls. I want to move on. We're going to look up the board of directors of Pangea. Boy, I went to their website, though. It's a lot of black people on there. A lot of black people. I want to see the board.
I'm going to have to look that up myself.
Yeah, man, I want to see the board of directors, though. Somebody said it's some black frostocracy on the board. Locally.
Well, maybe it is black people buying something. I mean,
buying and doing us. You can't buy us and screw us.
No,
that would make it prostitution. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Moving right along. I'm gonna move right along. Hey Todd, are Democrats dealing with the black problem? I want to go back.
If you're asking me, I'll say no. They kind of ignore it and pretend like it's not there.
What? Where am I? Todd, are you?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm an Outer Limits guy.
Oh. Are Democrats ignoring or dealing with their black problem? I think that they thought that equity and criminal justice reform would be the magic bullet. But Todd, I must admit that I am a disgruntled Democrat who considers myself undecided for president. Now, there's 6 choices on the ballot right now. So I think people's assumption is that if you're not for Joe Biden or if you haven't declared your support for Joe Biden, and I always have the option of writing myself in because it does satisfy my ego. I'd be like, man, I got to vote for president.
Yeah, I got to vote.
Right? So I have options. Right. I believe I am not a person that believes that we do not have options. And so I do not feel as though, and I felt this way since I came to my revelation, that the Democratic Party has treated black people fairly for what we have given and for our loyalty. Black folks, when President Obama came out, voted for him at a 92% clip. He changed the dynamic. He changed the sphere. He changed the number. I would suggest that President Obama was a blessing and a curse for the Democratic Party.
You remember in the Return of the Sith?
What part?
You saw that?
I don't remember. They ran together.
When Obi-Wan and Anakin were fighting, and then Obi-Wan yells, "You were supposed to be the chosen one." Yeah, I think that's how some people feel about Obama.
So I think President Obama was a blessing and a curse for the Democratic Party because he motivated, inspired, and turned out a sleeping black electorate that maybe turned out at about 85%.
Mm-hmm.
Got him all the way up to 92. But I think at the same time, he was so polarizing that he woke up the white sleeping giant on the other side, so it drove the numbers up on the other side.
Right.
And so while he was able to set the bar very high for Democrats, it also created a white tide that made the black vote just that much more crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And great turnout. We saw that with a very slight difference of 10,000 to 12,000 votes in some major Midwest cities. They really shifted and Hillary Clinton wound up losing. I distinctly remember inviting a group of black thought leaders who were diverse in their thought. Not like they were all pro-black, but, you know, I was still a disgruntled Democrat, but we met with the Hillary Clinton campaign, and literally I told them they were going to lose the black vote if they took us for granted. Robbie Mook said to my face, he said, we have a new type of coalition. It is a multicultural coalition, right? And
There's the problem.
And Hillary Clinton crashed and burned.
Right.
I think black people since then have become not disrespectful of President Obama, but recognize that it may have been an opportunity missed. Right? So I think they're still proud, but I also think that there is an opportunity missed. And at the same time, having missed that opportunity and the level of vitriol that has arisen since then, it exacerbates the fact that we did not demand much from him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have 4 years of Donald Trump. And coming out of it, the DNC, if you recall correctly, remember when they had a choice to elect a president, the new chairman of the DNC, they went with Tom Perez.
Right.
And then they spent the last 4 years talking about immigration and immigration reform, even as black folks were still locked up, they did the same thing. Now, we also recognize that President Trump is distasteful for a lot of Americans. But I think the boogeyman theory for black folks has been the number one tactic for Democrats. The second tactic is the church. The third tactic is the barbershop. If you saw Bill Rutherford's article in the Sun-Times, those were the same three things that the Democrats had in their pursuit of the black vote in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
The hate for Trump, working through with the Souls to the Polls campaign with preachers, and then suggesting that black people still listen to their barber. Now, let me just be clear. I'm in the barber. I used to be in the barbershop all the time. I don't listen to my damn barber. I mean, I listen, but he ain't deciding who the hell I vote for.
No.
Right? No. Everybody talks smack in the barbershop, but nobody thinks that the barber is the political expert. Nobody.
No, I would think that the barber may be able to maybe start the conversation.
Facilitate the conversation, right? But the barber, okay, so that's that. The church and the Souls to the Poll campaign. I don't think the church right now is stopping the souls from killing each other in the streets. I don't know how influential the souls, the church is. And then if you add COVID to it and people not going. And then I do not believe that the party has sufficiently addressed either of the candidates' record on criminal justice. And they have very stark records.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with the fact of being called out when all I really want to see is the Democrats articulate a reason for us to continue to be loyal. I asked 2 days ago, what substantive black issue has been addressed? I have been called every single name for asking black people to answer their own question about their own self-interest. Why is it that the Democrats refuse to recognize that they have a black issue? Todd, do you think they got a black issue?
Oh, I do. I think the refusal to acknowledge that slavery puts us in a different group than everybody else of color has really started to have black people peel away.
Now, Hillary Clinton got 82% of the black vote, and she lost.
Right.
Donald Trump got 10. Okay? He got 10. The Republicans figure in their math that if they can get 12% of the black vote consistently, they will never lose again.
That's nice math, but unfortunately, it's voodoo math. That'll never happen. It's always been the same issue. Same thing we have here in Cook County when black people are trying to be elected countywide. You have to reach that 92% mark. It's not about the Republicans getting more blacks because they ain't never gonna do anything for us. But at least not while I'm alive, I don't see it. It's the Democrats reaching their mark.
Well, I think it's a combo. I think if they can start to get that number under, so let's say if the number for Republicans is 12, or they can get a Democrat under 80, right? It becomes the same thing. They're looking for 2 points, right?
So, if they can get black people to just stay home, right?
And we recognize that that's usually the path. I just wonder in these last, the fact that here's where I think we underestimate the power of TV, video, all of that good stuff. I was just reading in Vanity Fair that they are now calling Megan Thee Stallion
and I bet you read Mademoiselle too, huh?
No, I just read the headlines from my Facebook news. But they suggested, Todd, that now Megan Thee Stallion is being hailed as a black liberation hero.
Really? I finally actually listened to that song like yesterday, and I was like, this is X-rated.
But again,
I don't see the empowering part.
Well, Todd, but again, for white folks, that's what they're going to sell black folks as empowering. It's the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, it's time for Tell Me Something Good Friday.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. So many politicians are bought by special interests and major corporations instead of the citizens who elected them. I would not be bought. I would finance my own campaign in good faith to the voters of Illinois and promise to serve with integrity at all times. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate.
Me into Moowalk Hills World. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. Right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The Blackest Conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's in It for the Black People Media, 1 to 3 p.m.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, man, if you are going to imbibe this weekend, make sure you stop by Kim Bark Beverage Shop. Right. Man, even if you don't imbibe, you can get you some salty nuts.
I don't know why it's laughable, but
some Doritos. You know, they got chips.
Ooh, I don't like Doritos, but I do eat chips.
You don't like Doritos?
No, I don't like any of that kind of stuff where they throw some stuff on it and cheesy and.
I was watching this. I was watching a show yesterday, and they said this guy was doing a documentary from jail, and he said he makes one of his favorite dishes to make was chicken Alfredo, and he said, but you got to shake the chicken in the Doritos to get the flavor. I was like,
that's pretty interesting.
I'm gonna tell you though. Actually, I learned how to make like nachos in the Fritos bag.
Oh yeah,
from somebody who told me.
Yeah, I've seen that.
All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
You know how I look at republicanism? I thought about that because I read a comment. I look at it like I look at Joel Osteen and the rest of those kind of prosperity preachers. They reach a certain amount of people, and then they're going to peak, which they have. There's only so many people who want to look at life that way, and I think that's also the kind of the same group that looks at the Republican Party as viable for them.
Okay. Well,
I mean, black people.
I think somebody wants to talk to you about that. Hey, Todd, on the live line, we got my man Byron. Byron, you're on the Maze Jackson Show.
Byron, I know he watches Joel Osteen.
Good morning to you, Todd.
Good morning, Byron.
Hey, Maze, if we give the Republican Party only 5% or 10% of a vote, what should we expect from them? Now, let's turn it around. Now, suppose they came back to us and says, hey, we'll give you 10%, 20% of this. Should we take it, or should we just say, nah, we just go hungry?
Now, let me tell you.
Well, the other party is giving us nothing. I mean, Maze, I know you aching. I know you can't tell the truth. You can't vote for somebody who's going to be a socialist. You love money. All we want to do is get handouts.
I just like it a lot.
Right, me too. That's why I'm here. I'm doing some trades on Zoom and trying to buy some Tulsa. You know, that's what I do on the side, make some money. It's an American dream. People come over here with nothing, and after 5 years, have more than people who've been here all along. Why is that? I can't ask Todd that question. Why is that, Maze?
I think, so first of all, can we take this out? I don't love money. I just like it a lot. It allows you to be empowered. But here is, the funniest part to me is when, and I think you're hitting on a point that I'm trying to get to that I don't think very many of us have learned in politics. And I got to figure out a way to say this so that people don't take it as a diss. But we are supposed to get something out of politics. We're supposed to extract. And you give to the people who give to you. So essentially, my estimation is that I don't have very many questions for Republicans. People are like, why you don't ask the Republicans? Well, because we don't give them 90% of our vote. And I would say that the 10% of people, the vote that they get, they take care of them. Them the people y'all call the Uncle Toms and the bootlickers and the pastors that you see on TV, all of those people, right? Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, they prosper proportionately, individually. Now, for the Democrats who we give 90% of our vote, I don't see the reciprocity beyond the emotional appeal. There is no white guy that is voting for Joe Biden that's wealthy that is not going to expect a return on his investment. He's not. Philosophically, he could be with Joe Biden, but every single person that is making, they have an ulterior motive. We make the mistake of doing politics altruistically, i.e., if we do right, they're going to do right by us. We believe in, no matter the same people that tell us about the Bible, that watched us, like the same white folks that used the Bible to enslave us, while they got rich are using the same tactics. Now, in my estimation, when things are critical and crucial is when you apply the most pressure. If everybody is saying you don't got nothing to worry about over here, with the black folks, don't tell me nothing. If there is nobody saying it's all good, if they turn on the radio and everybody is like, we love Joe Biden, then can I tell you what? There are no Negroes putting out these signs that say Joe Biden. Did any of y'all ever put out any Obama signs? No. Obama charged you for a sign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just be clear. If everybody wakes up, so all of the black political consultants, so for the Dick Durbin political consultant that now is just that much more important in their campaign because everybody ain't singing out the hymn book, that makes you more valuable. So that you're clear to the Negroes that are putting the signs in the ground right now when they saying we got to get some money on the streets. If everybody's saying it's all good, guess what? They ain't putting no signs in the ground. What y'all want to do is price yourself out the market. Somebody said to me, Maze, so what's essentially you're saying is show me the money. Hell yeah. Not me, Maze Jackson, personally. Because you know they gonna be like, what that nigga doing on an ad. But when it comes to all you fundraisers, all of you who make your money off of being like this, see that, no, be clear. If there's no resistance, you're not necessary. Are we clear? Are we clear? Because when they had $250 million to spend in a political campaign for governor, no black people got paid. Oh, they got jobs, but there was no multi-millionaire. They paid one guy, a group of people to be on the streets, and they paid them $1 million to stay out their way. Mm-hmm. That's okay, though. Because if everybody said it was okay, JB, then there is no market. Do you understand pricing yourself out the game? Everybody around here singing Kumbaya. What you seen any black media companies standing up right now talking about praising JB getting pennies on the dollar? Giving pennies. And gotta form a coalition of black media companies to explain to our governor why he needs to spend of his $2 billion ad buy with black people.
Right. Something wrong with that.
But y'all what y'all want to do is wave and be like, it's all good, sir. We ain't hungry, we ain't starving. It's all good. They built 3 hospitals. 3. Black people dying at a crazy rate. 3 hospitals. None in the black community. And y'all letting people come on TV every day. They trying to show up with another Negro to stand up there and be like, it's all good while we dying. And then want to call President Trump. Hey, bro. Trump, you did it. You led us off the cliff. And we allowed our local government to allow us to die for a campaign ad. They just sold your neighborhood out from under you. You don't even got to vote. I please need for y'all to understand, right? It's like y'all spend more time trying to come to Maze that's trying to help you get you some value. You not special, dog. Understand that if there is no resistance, then there is no need to pay Negroes. Then what you got is, right now, let me tell you what, to every black committeeman, real talk, the reason Dick Durbin is talking to you right now Because they got a Negro problem.
Right.
That's the only reason he's talking to you is because he got a Negro problem. And he calling you to round up the Negroes to be like, get that Negro. Because what is that Negro doing on an ad?
Well, then we ought to realize, well, this is what I just popped in my head, that for, I guess forever, it's been black people versus U.S. Supreme Court. And if that's going to be the case, then we need to act like it's us against them. And I don't care which side, but I know the Republicans ain't going to do it, so I don't even fool around like pretending. Then you got to, like you're saying, you have to hold Dick Durbin's feet to the fire and say, look, I don't care if this doesn't pass, but I need you to introduce it and fight for it and give them the plan and say, you got to go out there and do this, or I don't see any reason why we should support you.
But no. Because here's what we already got. We got black people who was in line for masks from Willie Wilson in line to be, let me help you whoop on Willie Wilson. Like, I really think it would be a travesty.
Well, I'm not talking about just regular folks. You know how people are talking about the committeemen. Well, the committeemen are part of the
apparatus.
The apparatus, right. So they're the ones who should be making those demands.
But the committeemen, when these things happen, Todd, fall in line, right? It becomes us against them, right? It becomes, right? Because now, like, when is Tony Preckwinkle going to really check Dick Durbin?
I wouldn't. She's at such a point, you know, high up the rank. I don't see that. But all the rest of them, that it's like I was talking to committeemen, and they were like, well, you know, the committeeman up in Niles told me that if I support you, then they're not going to support us. Why would they support it? Well, they don't support you anyway. They don't get those people from Niles to vote for people who live in the Black and West Ward.
Right, we caught them last time. Remember when the other race, and we caught the emails from them saying where the township committee organization was sending out emails saying, hey, only vote for this Cam guy. Don't vote for the other two, the black or the brown candidate. Just vote for him because we need his numbers.
I literally think, and this is my thought, that the South and West Side people say, look, we got a candidate. This is him. If you don't get these type of numbers, don't expect me to go out and stomp for your people because you ain't getting it from us. What's the use of having you if you can't help us?
I mean, because there'll be 3 black people who will, again, get paid to take them around, right? And all I'm just, this is my thing, Todd. Mom, let's go to the live line. This is the Mace Jackson Show. Hello?
Hello, this is Maison.
Mom.
This is your mother.
Mom. Hi, Mom.
I just called to say amen to what you were saying. I have nothing to add, but I want you to invite me on your show. I'll help you talk. Bye.
Bye, Mother. Love you. Love you. Love you. That's my mom.
I know it was your mom because she used the code word.
She used my real name.
Right.
I was like, uh-oh. Hey, y'all, my mom called it. Well, you know what? First of all, thanks for listening, Mom.
Right. Now you got to do less cursing.
I don't be cursing. That's Todd. Mom, that's not me. That is Todd.
Oops.
That is Todd. So let's go to Andre Smith. Dre, you on the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, man? Tell me something good, too.
Good morning, family. Maze, Todd, and absent of Ruby. Look here. Every year, our people, meaning black people, have to beg, and not just beg, we justify every year why we're not getting anything. Even during the Obama era, we say, well, we didn't push him enough. The hell, why we got to push a black president to get something? We rightfully deserve it. Then they shame you for voting for Republicans, so that's taboo. That's the devil. We don't have a party. Vote for Willie Wilson. Let's create this party, and the Democrats will be falling on their knees. Not only that, begging us to do something. And I agree 1,000% with you, Maze. I put out signs. I do all kinds of things. They don't need you. They don't need you at all because they got you. They know you're going to vote for them.
Thank you, Dre.
So why should they give you anything?
100% agree. 100% agree. Thank you, Dre. I appreciate you. Hey, Todd, this is how, like, let me just, this is what I want, because there's a lot of black, I find one of the things that I find a lot of times is I look at who is agreeing with what and who. Right? And I'm going to take you in a hot second, Hope. And one of the things that is so amazing to me is that for every single day that we get up and push the envelope on black issues, that I could be a sellout because I'm trying to force you to look at your own self-interest. The fact that it was interesting because the other day I watched a white woman come on my page and try and lecture me about what I need, about how dare you ask what's in it for the black, you ask what's in it for the black people and you won't declare that you're voting for Joe Biden. And I watched a brother jump like, and it was like very matriarchally white Karen condescending. And by the way, her name was Karen. And a brother, she was like, and you voting, you might as well go ahead and vote for Trump or whatever. And I watched as brothers who's supposed to be down jumped on her team to kind of team up against me on my page. And my point was, brother, like, you know me, you can inbox me, you can do whatever else, but you're so willing to jump on off of code with us. You listen to me every day. You know I'm fighting every day. And as soon as some white broad jump in the mix and talk about some Trump, y'all gonna team up against the brother who you talk to every day, who's telling you about what affects your life every single day. See, we want to be on their team. Like, we keep hoping that someday they're going to wake up and say, you know what, y'all, we's equal now. We are equal on election day only. Only. Say mugs won't even come on your page. Won't even come to your neighborhood. Let's go to the live line. Hope you're on the Maze Jackson show, man.
Good morning, Maze. Todd.
Good morning.
Just one point about allowing black people to buy multiple housing developments as a nonprofit. They do allow that. They allow it as long as you are a church. My case in point, Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, which has been able to set up numerous non-for-profits and sell the tax credits and develop housing units. They have close to $1 billion. It hasn't happened recently. It's happened in the past, but that seems to be the only instance where black people are allowed to buy multiple housing developments.
And Hope, can I tell you something? First of all, I always appreciate when you come to just really let the air out the tire. But let me also say, Hope, that what has happened is the white guys have figured out how to co-opt the churches now in that space. So when the church used to be in control of the development, now the church becomes a minority partner and they don't have to do the work, right? So they then go in and acquire the church, say, hey, church, you be our partner, and you can you can go in and clear down all the paths for us in the neighborhood. Is he gone? All right, this is the Mace Jackson Show. Todd, it was Tell Me Something Good Friday.
I have something good.
What, Sonia?
I have a proud mommy moment.
What's up?
So I'm a little emotional today because I officially have a teenager.
Oh!
Isabella turned 13 today.
Oh!
But she's getting straight A's.
Oh, yay! And you're going to see her, right?
I am. I'm surprising her.
Oh, she's surprising her. So Sonia is blowing this popsicle stand. We are super. Hey, that is so awesome. 13 years old. Get ready, kid. Get ready. You know what?
Yeah, there's a change.
Hey, man, I was looking at the pictures of my grandchild yesterday.
That's funny. I was thinking about your grandchild yesterday.
I was shopping. I was like,
I am. I've refrained from posting pictures because I'm not in charge of that yet. But she is such a cutie. She is such a cute. It's like I was just thinking how much money I'm about to lose.
You said she was born 4 pounds, so she's little.
Yes, but she is getting.
She
pumping weight. She pumping weight. She's getting tall, right? She was 18 inches out the gate, right? So she like, yo, I'm just telling y'all, man. I can't wait for this COVID stuff because I'm nervous about seeing the baby. you know, because you got the heebie-jeebies, you know, all these people. Also, Ruthie Moore will be back on Monday. That's tell me something good.
Randy.
Tell me something good. Ruthie Moore will be back because she ain't been passing out the papers in the morning. Bears win. And I'm going to say shout out to Sonia Escobar for staffing us up so I can not have to be chained to my desk and I can leave a little bit earlier. Now we got to get her. Well, we freeing up. Shout out to young Ron in the building. We see you, dog. I'm sorry, man. Solo Beauty Supply. Shout out to them. I'm going to get me a hair care package. Nidra, I need my hair care package because I got to get my curly locks.
You're getting a blowout.
And then no to the tax scare. To the scare tax.
Team Stroger's going somewhere. It's some kind of Halloween thing. I think it's like, you know, when you ride through the jungle, you ride through and there's Halloween things or something.
Oh, I don't know, but that's pretty cool. Can I also say something? I missed this yesterday. You said it and I didn't, but happy 25th anniversary to you and Janine. We still haven't ever seen Janine.
Thank you.
Janine,
I still got her.
Yes.
She don't know where she is, right?
So but I think that is a testament to Black love, and it's always amazing to hear and see those stories, and I can't wait till Carrie and I have 25 years in the game. I hope by then I'll have gotten it right sometime. In 25 years, have you figured it out yet, Todd?
Oh no, I'm awful. But you and Carrie are falling asleep on the couch together watching TV. So you're still doing things right.
Actually, she stays up. She takes notes. But what was so dope? Was that she took notes. Also, hey y'all, I haven't really asked you all for this, but can you also please send us some stars? Send us some stars, or you can cash at me at Maze said. I want to bonus my staff for the weekend. But this is the Maze Jackson Show. So for Todd Stroger, my co-host, for Ruthie Escobar. Ruthie Mo, who is out in the urban jungle in her beret and camouflage fatigue, saving the kids.
Looking like Kim Possible, huh?
For Miss Sonia Escobar, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day. Oh, one more thing real quick. Sorry. Real quick. Felicia Simmons Stovall asked me to announce to you all that Alderman Carrie Austin is having a coronavirus food drive up starting at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow at 800 West 115th at the Old Jules parking lot. I'm going to shout out to all of the organizations that are participating, but don't miss them tomorrow from 10 to 2. If you need food, just drive up. Alderman Austin doing a thing. All right, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, hey, listen to the Book of Dawn coming up next. Peace.
WIFTV PM.